Imana's going to be walking us through a cooking demo on how to make vegan pumpkin pasties. And then throughout the live, we'll be asking you some questions, getting to know you a little bit better, and then taking some fan questions as well, if that works for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. All right, so walk us through. What's the first step to make these beautiful pumpkin pasties?
So the first step is making the pastry. And that's one of my favorite, things about cooking. Just get your hands in the flour and just work it. It's like therapy, So it's my favorite step. So I have a magical merpeople bowl to make the pastry.
I love that.
So I have some all-purpose flour here and some turmeric to make the pastry a little bit more pumpkin-esque like.
Nice.
So I put it in here. So I always, yes. And I always start with the dry ingredients first. So the flour, and here I have some regular sugar with a pinch of salt. So that's a tablespoon. And then the best part, the vegan butter.
Oh, yum. What brand do you use?
I use, I think it's a Dutch brand. It's called Flora. Oh, wow. And they just came up with those vegan salted and unsalted butters. And you can't, say this is not butter, because if you heat it up, it foams. You can make burnt butter. It's like amazing stuff. So I'm so happy that I have this.
I love that.
So I put it in, and then, can you see my bowl?
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm going to transfer it a little bit here so you can see better. So then you rub everything between your fingers. And you stop when it feels like wet sand, basically.
Okay.
Just how you begin to make scones or cookies. You rub it between your fingers so the cold butter is distributed between every flour kernel.
Nice. So say you have like a bad day, you can just kind of take that anger out on that flour.
Yes. Exactly. Or really gently. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, there you go. So Imana, tell us, what is your Hogwarts house?
I recently changed my Hogwarts house.
Wow.
Because I was a Hufflepuff first. And then this year, I really got to know myself because of the coronavirus, the isolation. And I really went inwards and asked myself a lot of questions. And I retook the test, and I'm glittering.
Hey! That's what I am!
Yay! Oh my God!
Yeah, for those of you watching at home, drop your Hogwarts house down in the comments. We want to see who all is watching.
Yes.
We want to know your Hogwarts house.
This is like wet sand now. So what I do is add a little tablespoon of cold water and a little tablespoon or less of almond milk.
Oh, yum.
And I have caramelized almond milk. It's a little bit fancy, but
wow.
Yes, it's really good.
So far we have a Gryffindor, a Slytherin, and a Ravenclaw watching, but no Hufflepuff yet, which was kind of surprising.
Oh, where are the puffs?
You'd think a cooking demo, you would have
exactly. So it needs to have some moisture. So I'm gonna add some more. I always do this by eye because I have a recipe on my blog for these pumpkin pasties if you want to check it out later after seeing me making this. But dough is always by eye.
Nice.
And when it comes together, sorry?
Is there a reason why you prefer to kind of do it by eye?
Yeah, I'm a kitchen witch, so this is in my blood. But if you really pay attention and feel your ingredients in your hands, then you can make up for yourself. Is this wet enough? Is this dry? does it need something more? Just with tasting your food.
Right.
Like, it's just using your senses.
Nice. Very cool.
A little bit more, and then I'm finished with this beautiful short crust pastry.
I will say all of the Hufflepuffs are starting to show up. So.
Hello, beautiful pups.
And for those of you just joining us, Imana from the Magical Food Department is showing us how to make vegan pumpkin pasties. So a delicious treat during that fall time. So very excited.
So the dough came beautifully together, and it needs to stay short. You can't, knead it like pizza dough because it becomes very tough. So if you're done, you just put it in cling film, and you need to let it set for half an hour to an hour.
Nice. Into
the fridge. I'm going to wash my hands for a second. I'll be right back.
Cool. So for those of you watching at home, drop down below in the comments, what is your favorite dish from the Wizarding World? What is one dish that if you could have it right here now from the Wizarding World, what would it be? Let's see what everybody says. I see that. Damn it. Pumpkin pasties, yeah, we'll definitely send them to you right away. Don't worry. They'll be in the Owl Free post. Yum. I know me personally, there's always been something very magical to me about licorice wine. I don't know what it is, the magicalness of it or the fact that it was in video games, but I know that I personally just love the idea of a licorice wand.
It's amazing. And I love licorice. We love licorice here in the Netherlands.
Really?
Yes.
Black or just red?
We have all kinds of colors, like in every rainbow.
Wow, you guys are like in the future.
I should send you some to taste.
I would love that. Yeah. Somebody said butterbeer. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw on the MuggleNet program, we are doing a giveaway for a bottled vegan beer that we just released on the studio tour. Go into that contest if you're in the US, get that vegan butterbeer. It is so tasty.
I love it. Christina sent me some last month, and I tasted it for the first time, and I was like, oh God.
Isn't it so cool? I can't wait to get it at the Warner Brothers.
And I love the box as well, how it comes in. It's like such a magical experience already opening it.
That artwork is just so beautiful.
Yes.
Love that.
So for the pumpkin filling, I already roasted one beautiful pumpkin.
Oh my God.
I used this one, like the whole one. So cute, right? I also have small ones. They were so cute.
I love that.
But I just skinned it, de-seeded, and just cubed them. Line a baking tray and just roast it up until you feel like it's soft enough. I think it takes 40 minutes on 200 degrees. I think that's 410 Fahrenheit. I don't know for sure, but until it's really soft and really roasted. So what I do is add a little bit of vanilla extract.
Oh, yum.
And a little bit of agave syrup. You can use maple syrup, but you prefer, obviously, not honey because we're vegans.
Right. Yeah, for
those 2 tablespoons.
Nice. Yeah, for those of you just joining us now, the Magical Food Department is showing us how to make vegan pumpkin pasties. So at home, this video will be on the MuggleNet Instagram later on, so you can follow along and make your own.
Yes, and there are no magical creatures harmed in any of my recipes, so that's amazing.
Bravo!
Yeah. So I have some, I also love to add some coconut sugar. So 2 kind of sweeteners make it ultimate caramelly, butterscotchy flavor. And then some ground cinnamon and some pumpkin spice for the festivities.
Nice. I really get those fall flavors.
Yes, I love it. And the last thing I'm going to add is a zest of a clementine.
Ooh, okay.
Just to make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
And little freshness, little zestiness.
Yeah, just a little something, you know?
Yeah.
So, Imana,
And then you wrap it up. Sorry?
Oh, I was just going to ask, when did you develop a love for cooking? Because obviously your whole Instagram account is all about cooking and, you know, being inspired by the Wizarding World. What led you to want to start doing this kind of content?
There was nothing. I was listening to the Harry Potter books when I was 21, because when I was little, I read the books and everything. And then after that, the audiobooks came out, and I was really excited to listen to the books while I was cooking. And I always love to cook for my family and for my friends because it's an act of love to me.
Yeah.
So, that's how it started. I just wanted to cook for my loved ones and make them happy with my food and comfort them and be there for them through my food. And every day I was like, I feel like Nymphadora today, and then I wanted to do a Nymphadora inspired recipe, and then it grew more and more, and then Magical Food Department was born.
Wow, very cool. Yeah,
yes.
It's such a fun account. Like your photography is just out of this world, right? Your recipes are nice, but the content that you have, for those of you who haven't checked out Imana's Instagram account, Magical Food Department, is right there. You've got to check it out. So how do you go about setting up those kind of photos? Like those shots are so iconic. Sometimes you really invest in that.
Because there are already so many food bloggers and food entrepreneurs here in the world who share their recipes. For me, there was only one way to do this, and that was my way. Because a few years back, I tried it with just normal recipes for me then, and just nicely played it, but it didn't really, catch me or challenge me.
Sure.
So I already have to challenge myself to set the bar high because I'm very ambitious. Yeah. And every photo needs to be better than the other one. So
Slytherin, right?
Yeah. So then I started to think about the movies and how the sets were built, and I was watching a lot of behind the scenes on YouTube and how it all worked. And then I listened to the music and I just started meditating, and all the ideas came to me how I need to plate things up to be really mesmerized by the food. And you really need to feel when you look at the picture, okay, I am in the Wizarding World now. And that was the only way for me to communicate with the vegan recipes and connect with the Wizarding World.
Yeah. Wow. So I will say you do that phenomenally. Very, very
Thank you.
Every time I look at your page, I'm like, wow, am I in the Three Broomsticks? Like, where am I?
Yeah, that's exactly the feeling I want to, project with my photography. Like, you're in there for just a moment,
Yeah, definitely. So for those of you who are just joining us, we are here with Imana from the Magical Food Department. She is showing us how to make vegan pumpkin pasties for that fall kind of sweet treat from the Wizarding World. So right now we're working on the filling. Is that right?
Yes, the filling is almost ready. I mashed everything together. It's really easy. And then the last twist for today, I want to add some roasted pecans for just a little bite.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you just mix everything together, and that's it. That's the filling done.
Nice.
So I am Molly Weasley, and Molly is magical. And I have some fridge-ready dough.
Like magic. Love that. Yeah.
So the only thing needs to do now is to press it down a little bit and take a rolling pin or a bottle of wine you have left over. It doesn't matter if it's just circular, and you just roll it out. If you need a little bit of dough, then it doesn't stick, but don't use too much, because if you incorporate too much flour, the dough will completely change. So, and it will be a tough dough, and you want a little crisp dough.
yeah, absolutely. So, you mentioned Molly Weasley. I do want to know, who was a bigger inspiration to you, Helga Hufflepuff or Molly Weasley? Both really world-renowned kitchen witches and food experts. Who inspires you more between the two?
Molly Weasley is my number one. Wow. Definitely. If I think of her, how she cooks in the burrow, how she picks some herbs from her garden with the gnomes running around, I'm like, yes, I want to be there. I'm going to be there now. I put some music on and I'm just there.
Yeah.
And it swoops me away every time.
Love that. Yeah, Molly's food, I mean, the way that they describe it in the books just sounds so amazing. And I think that's one of the things that's so well done about the books and the films is how food is portrayed. It's just, the whole wizarding world is so magical, but being able to dive in and eat some of that food, I mean, that's the dream, right?
Exactly. Warner Brothers, if you're watching.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how you say this in English, but I think it's an inch. It's like a centimeter in here in the Netherlands, but the dough needs to be a centimeter thick.
Gotcha. So pretty, there's some substance, but it's pretty thin.
Yes.
Gotcha. Oh, thank you, Magical Latina. She just said that we both look so cute.
Hi, Karina.
Nice to see you, Karina.
So you take a glass.
Okay.
You just pluck a few out. You can use a cookie cutter, of course, but
nice.
Everyone has a glass, right? So that's more easy.
That's the cool thing about your recipes and your cooking style. You make it so accessible for everybody. Is that
I really try. I really try, because a lot of people say like, oh my God, because of your styling, it's just, I cannot do that. I'm saying like, yeah, but you don't have to do the styling, but the recipes are very easy.
Definitely.
And so after you take it out, you make it a little bit thinner to make it easy to pull. And then what you do is take it in your hand. You put like a tablespoon of filling inside and tuck it in a little bit. And what I love to do is take a little bit of water and then spread it on the edge so it sticks more.
Oh, okay.
And then fold it over. And I like to make little dumpling dimbles, I call them. And some really cute pumpkin pasty, really rustic.
Just like in the wizarding world.
Just like in the wizarding world. And what you can do, I think it's really cute if you make some indentations with a little knife.
Okay.
On the top. Like 3 little ones.
Oh, nice. Wow, that's gonna look great.
They're really cute. So I'm going to put them here so you can see me a little bit better.
Nice.
So you just continue a few more.
Okay.
Out of this recipe, you can make 12 12 or 14 pumpkin pasties, but I'm going to do another one so you can see the last time, and then I'm going to get on with the next step.
Cool. Very nice. That if it makes 12, like that's definitely going to hold you over on the Hogwarts Express as you're going to school. You know, that's
yes. Yes, that's plenty, and just with a bottle of pumpkin juice on the side.
Makes me so hungry right now.
Maybe a few birdie bots.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, for those of you just joining us, we are here with Imana from the Magical Food Department, and she's showing us how to make vegan pumpkin pasties to celebrate that kind of fall season and to get you ready for another semester at school. Nice. So tasty looking.
And you just take a baking sheet, put them on there. And what I like to do, instead of egg wash, we don't use egg wash. You take a little bit of almond milk and brush these beautiful babies.
Nice.
And then you put them in the oven for 25 minutes on 180 degrees.
Nice.
And they come out really fluffy and crispy and delicious.
Wow! Yeah. Again, there's that magic. Wow, those are fantastic. Wow, very good. Give us a little bit of an ASMR. You know, take a bite.
I will.
Wow. Oh, look at that. Just cracks right open. Wow. Mana, bravo. Bravo.
This is so delicious. These flowers are edible.
Whoa! What do edible flowers taste like?
Sorry.
No, please take your time.
It was a big mouthful.
The Half-Blood Collector says that we are making his mouth or their mouth water. So, yum. Very. People want to reach into the screen and eat one. I'm right there with you.
So every strain of edible flower, these are violets.
Oh, wow.
These taste really peppery and almost lettuce-like.
Okay.
But you also have flowers like lavender flowers or citrus flowers, lemon thyme flowers. They taste like the herb or the fruit from the seed. So every type has another flavor. It's truly amazing. I love these.
Yeah, they look so pretty. Well, Amanda, the last question that I have here for you, as somebody who is doing so much, you know, to introduce Harry Potter, the Wizarding World, with delicious vegan cooking, what are some tips that you might have for somebody looking to start cooking vegan food?
So what I first can say to you is that I'm a trained chef. So I used to work with animal products a lot. And I still think like a chef. So what I did first is to look for substitutes. What's vegan butter? What can I replace with vegan eggs, vegan meat, vegan fish? So you can make the same recipes you always did, or like the cultural recipe, and then incorporate, like, for example, a meat replacement like tofu instead of your red meat. And most of the time, for a lot of dishes, that's the only thing you have to change, and the rest you can do the same. So don't think too difficult. For example, if you want to make a spaghetti bolognese, the only thing you have to replace is the mince You have so many great vegan minces on the market right now, and some vegan cheese. The rest is vegan.
Wow.
So it's so easy. So don't think too difficult. And if you're at a stage where you can want to experiment more and feel a little bit more adventurous and secure in the kitchen, you can make some plant-based seitan or some vegan sausages for yourself. But honestly, there are so many great replacements on the market right now. It's only growing. So I would say check that out first and make some great recipes.
Very cool. And I think this is the last question that I actually do have. Has there ever been a Wizarding World dish that you haven't been able to veganize? Just for some reason you can't find something.
I have to think really hard because I'm not a vegan who says like I can do it vegan.
Yeah.
I am not like that because I know some of the dishes are impossible, like haggis, for example. But that's not a dish really appealing to me anyway, so I wouldn't make it.
I like that. That's a good answer.
Yeah,
That sliver in ambition, you know?
Yeah. So I think everything can be made vegan. So yeah.
Love that. Well, Imana, thank you so much for taking time out of your day, showing us how to make vegan pumpkin pasties. For all of you guys watching, please go check out her Instagram account, Magical Food Department. It is amazing. Like I said, the photos are just gorgeous. And
Thank you.
keep up the great work, okay?
Thank you so much for having me.